by. Adept token. Yes, Adept tokens. You got it. If you went to Adepticon, you'd be living there, and you'd be living the Miller High Life, buddy. And you get to use them tomorrow? They actually showed up on time. For some reason I've noticed, anytime I'm going to the store to play a game, and I'm excited to get like a new thing, it always shows up the day I go there, and I can't go get it. For some reason, my mail really likes to show up on Tuesdays. Like, really consistently. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's like a local holiday on Monday for the mail people. Well, tomorrow I'm gonna teach you the meaning of buccaneering. I'm a total sucker for all the markers, tokens, other gewgaws, every game without phone. Yeah, no, bro, I'm right there with you. Game aids, I mean, I have this weird obsession. I have an obsession with making sure my state is well known. So, like, if somebody looks over, like, let's just say, if someone were to just walk to the table and knew how to play the game, and they saw the tokens, they could tell exactly who has what and who is in what state. I dream of those kinds of games. Because I know that I am forgetful, and the more I have to remember those things in the back of my head, the less likely I am to remember a rule that I need in order to win, or whatever. At least that's what I tell myself. But I have, you know, like a million billion tokens for infinity, and yet I still can't win that damn game. So I don't know. I see some flaws in my logic. So my next thing is I'm gonna maybe make some custom tokens for reloading, like reload tokens. I'm thinking of like using bases with smoke on them, so that when they shoot, you know, the unit shoots, I put down the smoke, like from the muskets, and then if there's 2 markers, there's 2 reload tokens. Which I don't think it'd be very hard. I mean, Kara would help me. Alright, Kara. I'm painting the water hobos.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna paint this last cyberpunk dude black.
And if you want, I did give you these too.
I know, I saw. This is the only thing I'm gonna do tonight. I didn't like waking up at 7. I need to wake up earlier than that. So 11 is not bedtime now.
Like in those World War II movies where the HQ has a staff of young women moving markers around a huge table. Yes, that's exactly what I want my table to look like. I want to look like an attractive, usually blonde, and we're just moving markers around. I just have them move those markers around for me, so I can feel like a real Prussian aristocrat, you know.
I feel like it's odd that you want this to be.
Sure. I did, yes.
I don't know very many tall, beautiful women. I'm sorry. I'm a sexist.
It's a powerful fantasy of mine. Yeah, dude, I get it.
Powerful fantasy.
No, dude, I get it. Marker state. So important. You know what? When you come over, Chris, for that housewarming thing, how about we just set up a table and just put markers on it? We don't even play. We just put markers down. Maybe we knock some models over. Yeah, we gotta get the big sticks. The ones you use for
Somebody's gonna have
like
to
craps.
right here.
Markers are cool. Markers are cool. You don't need as many markers in Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl's marker system is mostly just boards, like the little dugout thing, and actually putting models like down. Which I don't know, Dan. Putting models, like laying them on their back and then flipping them for like stuns and knockdowns and stuff. It's just not my preferred way to do it. I'd much rather have a token. I get the aesthetic. I get the aesthetic appeal.
Do you really, Dr.D?
Yeah, markers are cool. Wear bow ties, fully painted minis. That's Blood Bowls. I have tokens for that. See, so right. See, that's better. That's a better way to play that game, in my opinion. I think it's like a mix of stone, metal, wood. Like I'll go in and paint the bolts, but it's like rocks. There's a couple sandbags in there and wood. So I kind of
Wood color, sand color, rock color.
yeah, and then the dirt, and then I'll go in there and kind of pick out stuff, highlight it up. We were talking from the same good book. My favorite, the hottest, isolated, immobile, double team supreme. Double team supreme! Why do I gotta ring the bell? That wasn't even a very good D's nuts.
That does not matter.
Yes, it does. That has to be a good D's nuts. Let me see if I can find it.
Exactly. You lost the bell already. Cowbell party.
There it is. There. When are we getting new Raise the Black? You like Raise the Black, Dan? When are we getting a new one? I'm not sure. The current shows that are planned are we got a Net Watch one planned, and we have a Arachne episode planned.
And we have moving plans.
And so I think if we're gonna do a Raise the Black, I've pitched the same episode to Kara about 4 times, and then she acts like it's the first time I've ever told her about it every single time. Where we just talk about organization. Funnily enough, we were going to talk about tokens. It's actually kind of funny you guys bring that up. I just like hearing y'all have fun. I just hope they have fun. I don't know what teams are playing. I just hope they have fun. Well, I'm always having fun, Dan. That is hopefully painfully evident. Thank you. Sure. Kara could just do one on her own. No, I don't think she could. As much as I would like her to do one on her own. It's very rare. Mike did one on his own.
I didn't even feel comfortable taking the lead on the people that I asked to be on the
She did initiate the conversation of having the guest on for the pirate faction, which that was pretty helpful. And I think that there will be a certain point where, especially once the Summer of Plunder stuff starts to calm down, we'll probably talk about, you know, quote-unquote, the lore, even though the lore in this game is actual, like, real life, where we'll talk about maybe, like, different pirates, and then we'll talk about their factions if they're in the game and how you can play them in the game. But the issue with doing the show with Kara is the timing of it is very tricky.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
Thank you very much for the gifted subs, Mr. Dan. I appreciate that as always, buddy. But yeah, there's always going to be more coming. Honestly, the only thing that slows down content is just when I don't have ideas for what to talk about. Because I don't really believe... Like, I know some people like them, the like ramble-sodes that some podcasts will do, where they just kind of talk about whatever. You know, they just kind of get in front of the microphone and just kind of chat. I think that those work great for, like, Patreon-locked stuff, because I think the people that pay want that kind of stuff. That's why they're paying, is because they like to just hear the guy, like to hear the person talking or whatever. But I think for general episodes, I don't think it works super well. Although I know, like I said, some people here would really like it, but I just don't think there'd be I don't think it would be as approachable to the general audience. So the point I'm getting to is I always try to go into an episode with something to talk about. I trust Dylan to make content when it is ready to be made. Yeah. I mean, because it's definitely not from a lack of, like, effort. You know, it's definitely a case of we put effort into our episodes and stuff, so it's not like it's something that we're, you know, like we're procrastinating. At least I don't think. So my plan for today is I really want to finish all of the Zealanders, so that we have a unit of Dutch sailors. It has taken me an obnoxious amount of time to actually, like, fully get it done, but I've put a lot of effort into each individual model. And I think that I think individually they all look really good, so I think when they're all done, they're going to look really great. So once it's done, I'll bring over the other. So, like, here's a finished one. Actually, funny enough, here's the mirror to this one. Hey, I'm going to try to get the Chaos Cup. Dude, that's awesome! Where is Chaos Cup? That's in England? Is that where that one is? I need to start painting my Nurgle team now that you have your own. I don't have my own Nurgle team. No, I think I made a comment once before that there was one at a local store, but I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford buying it. Yeah, I don't have a Nurgle team yet. Used to be in Chicago. It's in Kissimmee. Holy crap, that's where I grew up. I grew up in a town like an hour away from Kissimmee. I have an extra. I know, you've said that before. Don't you need both of the boxes, though, to have enough players? Like, I'm assuming you want full number of rotters, right? Dan, I'm not going to take models that you can use. Oh, by the way, actually, it's funny you bring that up. I have been cleaning the house still, and I found an entire another box of Dark Elf stuff I gotta send you. It has a couple bolt throwers. It had a couple more Corsairs, I think, in it. And it had just like a lot of bits. And I think it had a bunch more Spearmen. So I'm gonna send that to you pretty soon. I got it all in a bag. I'm gonna wait until we actually physically move, just in case I find more, so I don't have to send you more than one box. Because I had another bag that had some stuff I found for you that had a couple more Corsairs and stuff in it, and I don't know where the bag went. But I'd been working on that one for like a couple weeks after that other box I sent you. So I gotta find that old bag. So the new bag is big, and I put it like right in the middle of my workspace area for when I'm my little staging area over there. So I won't lose that one. But point I'm getting to is you got more Dark Elf stuff coming your way. Yeah. I'll tell you as soon as I know. I could probably get it in a pretty small box. But anyway, like I was saying, my hope is to finish these guys and then also maybe finish 2 more Sea Dogs. And I have some bloaters to send as well, but no rot swamp. Listen, whatever you send me, Dan, I'm going to cherish. You don't have to worry about making it. You don't have to worry about what you're not sending. Yeah, the rot spawn is in a separate blister, isn't it? Much alignment and a couple Pestigors. I have an extra. Well, let me put it this way, Dan. I'm not going to ask you for that box, but if that box appears, I'm not going to be disappointed. Let's put it that way. And I will 100% paint that team on stream. And I will 100% do... So we were already planning, kind of loosely, on a Blood Bowl episode on Arachne. And I might have either you or Jay come on for that one. Jay thought he was banned from Arachne because I haven't asked him to be on the show yet. But he ran the local Blood Bowl thing here. So actually, what it might even be is it might just be, maybe it's a game we just talk about every once in a while. I cannot find him anywhere. I bought a Beast of Nurgle that I have proxies for that. Because, I mean, the Rot Spawn is just a Beast of Nurgle. I can send you a link. I know somewhere where you can get one pretty cheap. Do yellow pants make sense? Actually, you know what, Dan? I'm going to send it to you right now. Whee! Whoops, that's not that. Nope, ignore that link. There you go. I don't need one now. I like my model. Okay. Oh, well, whatever. If you want one, there you go. They have a couple other things that you can use for Blood Bowl. The website's not super great, but they do have a lot of the like named characters and stuff. They just don't have the teams. And I've used that website a number of times for hard to find models, and they've always treated me very well. But yeah, just in case like you want the vampire named characters and stuff, I think they have all of them. And they've gotten pretty quick at updating the site. Use code Dylan Fry. That will get you nothing, but I do appreciate it. So I was actually gonna wait until like my next, because whenever I order from them, I like to order in big batches because their shipping takes a little while because it's from across the ocean. And I was gonna pick up a couple of the named characters for Blood Bowl in the next order, but they don't have Blood and Plunder stuff, and that's pretty much what I've been spending my money on lately. What little money I have been spending, and there's not like enough for me to order to make the initiation.
I can't pretend to know what you're going through right now, but you let go, okay? Thank you. If you need anything, you know who to look to.
Somebody else.
Someone else.
You killed us. No, I didn't. You killed us. No, I didn't. You so friggin' did. You did. You did kill us. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you did kill us? No, I said I didn't kill you. But you did. Hey, Jeffrey, look. Fresh brains. I'm gonna get changed into painting clothes. So, what, sweatpants and nothing else? Let's just say, when I'm on stream, I dress up.
That's true.
I'm usually not even this fancy when I'm painting. It would make Wilmar blush.
That's true. Mike would put it on his phone, but
Mostly free ballings. Nuttin' underneath. Yo, bro. See you, alligator. Unprimed. Unprimed juice, might say. We'll have fun, Dan. Make sure the wife experiences the smooth texture of the unprimedness. No, it wouldn't. Happy birthday, Wilmar. What, it wouldn't make you blush? Hey, Jeffrey, look. Fresh brains. It's because he sleeps on his... That's how he sleeps on his doghouse. That's the joke. So, Wilmar, as a professional Blood and Plunder player now, what do you think about 3-point pirates? I've seen your arms. I'm not impressed. Even Dan's in on the happy birthday thing. And Mike's here? The whole gang is here. I'm here. Kara's here. Mike's here.
wow, what else is there?
Josh isn't here. Ernie's not here. Also, I don't remember who it is that Kara said she was going to play, but she's not coming tomorrow.
Training. I am more sad than everybody else about it.
What kind of game would you like to play, Mr. Chris? Would you like a boat game or would you like a land game? What kind of pirates? The 3-point pirate unit. It's the unit called pirates. Josh is too busy being a smelly pants. Got him. Holy fucking god, you got him, dude. Hey Wilmar, for your birthday, did you ask for like more blood and plunder models? And also, Mr. Mike, I gotta glue some like stuff on his base, but Mr. I think this is Pike. Is that what this one is? I can't remember their names. He's done picking up Degraph now, so I prefer to be at sea. Okay, painting up Degraph. Okay. Well, you can use them on land too. Like even Henry Morgan's, I think, better on land technically. Josh is too busy being a smelly pants. I asked for a competent and alive company to revive the Batman game. You know what? I appreciate that, Wilmar. I can appreciate you using the magic of your birthday to try and get them to revive that game. I appreciate that. You know what? I do. But there you go, Mike. So that's 6 models done. The debt has been paid, Mike. Okay. Like I said, I'm determined to finish these guys.
Was it or give Namor a character throw?
You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare! Mr. Chris, would you like to use any of the boats that I have that you may not have access to? Because I have access to the frigate. That one's not done painting-wise yet. Or do you want access to... Because I know you bought your own brig. Do you want me to bring the brig so you can use it? Or anything like that? Yeah.
What's the difference between the flute and the privateer flute?
It's probably a rigging difference. So if you look at the stuff on the back of the card, it might have a different rig. And it might be faster... I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I think it's faster. I think the privateer vessels are they're a little bit thinner, but they're usually faster. In some way or another. Namor. Anyway, I think Kara said she was gonna play you, Mike, so you're free. Because I think I saw you yesterday saying you're a ringer tomorrow. Also, Mike, you haven't been going to the Slow Grow League at AO. You could have been getting your fancy War Core points. What you gonna do about that, huh? Bruh? Huh? Bruh? Yes, my brig is still in the box, so I would really like to use it. Sure, yeah, I'll bring mine. I'll probably play my frigate then. Yeah, War Cores, they get like War Core points or whatever that they can use to get prizes and stuff like that for their communities. I warn you, my frigate is just currently a big white tub, so don't judge me. I have been debating on if the frigate is the first thing I paint when we get to the new place. Obviously not on stream. It's a little tough, but I'm kind Kind of milling around with the idea. Because I actually don't really know what I want to bring to Nova. I thought I knew. But, you know, it's just, it ain't easy being cheesy, you know? I gotta war core things more. I keep forgetting to make those events. Yeah, I was wondering how that was going. Night of the Big Dog. You want to increase the points? You want to make it 300 points, Chris? If I can somehow help, let me know. By the way, Wilmar, I've been collecting all my tokens and stuff, all the extra ones I have, and I'm gonna bring them for you to give away for that event. Because a lot of it's just stuff I can't use, and a lot of it's like repeating stuff. There's only so many order tokens you can have before it starts to get a little cumbersome. Hey, Mike, why don't you just, on Mondays, if you're sitting here watching me, why don't you just make it while you're watching me? And I'll try and remind you on Mondays to make the event. Would that be helpful? Would I be a contributing member to your thing? And also, Kara has contrasted a bunch of the Maelstrom stuff, and I'm gonna do real basic stuff just to give it to you so you can get the permission thing, the permission slip from Monster Fight Club. And then I will kind of do what I'm doing with the rest of your stuff, where I just kind of take one or two a week and just paint them. But I'll do some real just kind of basic stuff. What the hell are you doing? That's a great point that I'm trying to remember the event site again. I'm being frazzled. OTM. yeah, OTM. Yeah, the greatest tournament. This is the website I've ever seen. Brotherine, I'm eating mac and queso. You know, you say that more often than anything else, Pizza. Yeah, let's do 300 points, Chris. Let's do like a big game. That way we can have big boats and big names. And big butts. Bigger games also count for more for the event. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah, 300 plus points, you get the most amount of points for a game of Blood and Plunder. We should just be playing 300 points all the time. The guys have been very grateful for everything they get, plus it helps get people hyped. Yeah, 100%. We want help. I might not be the greatest Infinity player in the world anymore like I used to be, you know, back in the days when I was a young boy. But, you know, I'm still all about it. I'm still all about getting that community. What kind of list you making, Kara? Do you want to play Thursday? In between my my meeting and doing that interview?
Hopefully.
Okay.
What do you? How many points do you think we should do? I would film the boat list on my phone.
Sure. Whatever you're comfortable with. I have so much English stuff, I could probably do up to like 700 points now.
I want more than 250.
Didn't know the was cleaning some 3D printed stuff I got, and damn, it's so bendy and durable. Next level stuff. Yeah, dude. Especially when people really have it honed in. Yeah, if you get a real good 3D print, some of those sculpts are just like crazy good. Do they need to have some people in them? If so, I can get you some this weekend. The guys have been very grateful if they get posted out there. That's a great point. If I'm trying to remember the event setting again, I've been frazzled. Yeah, cool. I'll get something to get some pics. Some people don't. Yeah, sure. You guys make me jealous with all that infinity plundering. That's the advantage of being in America, man. People here aren't quite as GW-centric, I've noticed. But it's odd, you know, for a lot of obvious reasons. Obviously, GW's in your guys' backyard. Even though people in England don't travel that far. Well, Pizza, if you ever come to America, you're more than welcome to come to my place. Have a real good time. I'll even do my best to have some Spaniards ready for you. So you could play Spain at its most powerful. Just think. Spain at the point in history where it figured out how to make a big country, but it hadn't quite pooped its pants yet. I saw the Infinity Starter box, and I really wanted to get it, but the scene is not there for sure here. I mean, yeah, but the thing is like, there's always got to be someone who starts it, right? That could be you. It's a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But really, it just comes down to being consistent. Consistency is definitely the most important part. I'm a super big XCOM nerd, so it ticks so many boxes for me. Yeah, it definitely has some X-vibey type vibes to it. It doesn't quite have as much like thickness, I think, that XCOM has sometimes, because like in XCOM, I think a lot of times people can get hit more than once and they don't necessarily die quite as quick as they feel like they do in Infinity. I think that's the one thing that might be lacking with the XCOM comparison. Because even like when you play heavy infantry in this game, they can die. Like they'll die to a single ARO, depending on what it is. So it does, but the shooting definitely feels it definitely feels XCOM-y. Especially the part when you have a perfect shot lined up and for some reason your guy like shoots 90 degrees up. Because that's when you roll a 17 for the 4,000th time in a row. Yeah, Infinity models are really good. It's because I think it's because a lot of it is still in metal. And I am a big fan of metal, and I think it. I was talking about this yesterday. I think metal is just a medium for modeling that has just been, I don't know, kind of like overlooked in a lot of ways. I think metal models look way better because they do have like a certain kind of like, they have like a certain kind of goofiness to them that I think really suits the model gaming need well.
Big shout out to Dylan's Dice for taking a dive in the 4th round.
The 4th round? Nah, dude, the first round was awful, but then third turn, my Moonraker finally like turned on. He was like, "Oh my God, all the chips are down. Put me in, coach." My Infinity scene started because I had an army and someone else asked and brought it in to try out. Now we have 5 players. Yeah, like I said, it starts a lot quicker than you think. And I've noticed that with historicals, especially if you have people that are even remotely interested in history, they tend to jump on it pretty quick. But you know your local players better than I do, obviously. I poop my pants. Pooping my pants is cool. I learned that from a movie. That's true. Pooping your pants is pretty damn cool. Starting community is a good amount of legwork. If you're interested in going that route, let me know. I can assist. Yeah, and it's like, it's actually kind of amazing how many people will come out of the woodwork to help you do certain things like starting communities and all that. I would actually honestly be less inclined to believe stores than I would be like other people. Because technically speaking, I mean, if you go into a store, and again, this might be different up in England because I know you guys have like clubs. But like here in America, it's almost worth like not even thinking about the store themselves until you get the community. Unless they have a vested interest in it. So like as a good example, there's a local store up here called like Tabletop Nexus or whatever. And we've done multiple, like quite a few events, Infinity events at their store, and I don't even think they sell Infinity because their mouth is too firmly attached to GW's butthole. But the owner really likes Infinity players. Like he's on record saying that the Infinity players are just like the best players he's had. Yeah, I think that the hobby benefits every single time somebody breaks away from GW. I think the hobby itself is more enriched. But obviously doing that isn't necessarily always easy. It's not always easy for everybody. I almost jumped in with 2nd edition. Nobody knew played it all. Anyway, send holographic decoy. Yeah, you didn't seek me out knowing we would basically be best friends with that thorn in our side, Dr.D. That son of a bitch. Big shout out to Dr. Dylan's Dice. Infinity model proportions are very on point. Yeah, it's the lack of heroic scale I think really helps. Painted a whole bunch of Ariesta stuff and I dig it a lot. Ariesta models themselves are also really cool because they're not constrained by the limitations of Infinity. So like some of the models are like way bigger. It's kind of an interesting thing I've noticed. Now that I think about it, are Ariesta models in Infinity? Yes, they are. Somebody's probably going to say that as I scroll down. A lot of them are special, like they're like named characters in the different armies. Now that I think about it, know some characters, have models in both. He kept gatekeeping us from each other. He kept gatekeeping us. I'm not gatekeeping shit. He wants to be the third man in our perfect two-person friendship. Nothing is as cucky as playing a miniature game with GW terrain. Dude, don't even get me started on that. A good chunk are, but bases are different size. Yeah. So the funny thing is like the base size in Ariesta doesn't really matter. Because the bases for Ariesta I think are 32 millimeters, but the game is hex-based. So it's like the base doesn't really matter, which I always thought was kind of weird. But I think that's one of the reasons why the models are so much like bigger. You going to bed? I'm gonna say you're making those going to bed noises. I'm not against cutting them, so I don't mind. A good chunk of something you can always do is you could buy the alternate skins for those characters too, and for the Ariesta, because I know I don't know I don't think they were all Kickstarter based, but like if you wanted to get like Maximus or whatever, Maximus is kind of different because he's like a completely different model. But if you were like, oh yeah, I really want Hannibal or whatever, like there's Defiance models that you can specifically get. I think Hannibal has some like alternate like skins, you know, kind of MOBA-y that that Corvus Belli might sell. So it might not be worth tearing them up. Not from like you being scared about a thing, but you know, it might save you a little extra work. But there's definitely a couple Ariasta players in Infinity that are very good. Senior Massacre is one that you see quite a bit. Raoul Spectre, you see him quite a bit. Luna's very common in the few that she's in. I love Wild Bill. Wild Bill's kind of eh. I think he's better.
Fact of the night. I think I will be driving down one Mr. Mac to Nova. I will have a car ride that I should record the whole way down to get a drive-down interview.
Yeah, I would definitely publish that. You have the Arachne seal of approval, Mike. Oh, but I don't know if I can do that anymore, Mike, because I guess we're not friends. I'm just the gatekeeper. So I guess I'm going to gatekeep you from Arachne. How do you feel about that, bucko? Yeah. I hit you with the bucko. You know what I might do tomorrow, Carol? I might do that. I think I'm going to bring that Buccaneer outfit because it's hot as butts in that store. I'm going to show Chris the meaning of fear. He's like, I am here to prey on the innocent because I am a Frenchman and I do not like to have a stand-up fight. And then I'm going to walk in like that and he's like, you're a sacre bleu. It is Monsieur Dr.D. He has pantalones. I will try to hit him over the head with a sharpened baguette. Nomads look so cool. I'd play if I played. I'd go ham on them. Yeah, nomads are very popular for a reason. Fun fact: you are the gatekeeper, but you are gatekeeping Wilmar for making the birthday party podcast for me. When did I ever gatekeep that? I was like, yeah, you guys should do it. Does it sound like I have an ulterior motive there? Kara didn't find my French thing humorous. Are you mad at me?
So mad.
Also, hot take, gatekeeping sometimes is a good thing. Look at Magic the Gathering, so many collabs. Literally Funko Pop the card game. Tunguska all day, all night. Didn't sound French enough. Gotta make it more more sickly. Yeah, I guess the thing is anytime anybody talks about gatekeeping, we only look at it from the negative standpoint. I don't know. I do believe that a community requires some policing in some ways, where if there's a problem person, like they do need to be confronted, because otherwise the entire thing is going to die if they don't. So like in our local community, you know, if something like that were to happen, I'm just going to say a name. You know, it's not anybody like in particular, but I would confront them. I'd be like, pizza. And it could be anybody, right? But I would be like, excuse me, Mr. the Outstanding Pizza Man. You are aggressively British. And by British I mean Scottish, while also not being that thing. And I could be talking about anybody here, right? But like, let's just say in our community, if somebody like that existed, we would have to instantly confront them and be like, you need to calm down.
Speaking of policing, Dylan, we as a group have been meaning to talk to you.
Yeah, what about? I like to talk. What are we talking about? Is it about something fun?
Here you go, since you didn't read this and skipped it. Also, gatekeeping is important to a community. If you let Wilmar and me experience this peakness in life, everything else will be dull.
Well, that's fair. I'm glad I could help. I would hate for you guys to feel the upper echelon of the emotional, you know, spectrum. I know you guys like to have your weird little brand of misery.
Okay, I am going to bed now.
And you're not mad at me.
I am not mad at you.
Okay.
But 11 p.m. was not a good time for me to go to bed last night.
Good night.
Good night. Don't drink the paint. Love you, man.
Love you too. Hey guys, let's drink a bunch of paint. I don't think she can hear me right now. I'm standing behind. I'm standing behind her shoulder. I have a friend that gets into games when they are months away from being canceled. Interesting. Like, do you know they're getting canceled, or does it just happen to be he loves the game and then it happens to get canceled? He's kind of, is he like a warning? Is he like a pressure gauge? Well, something that tends to happen a few months before a game dies is the models get really cheap. Also, one thing I really love about the Dutch models, I think the Dutch models are probably the best models that Firelock make, maybe except for some of the natives, is they're literally all like, hey, yo, I'm going to stab you with this knife. Like, I'm just going to stab you with this friggin' thing. With this friggin' thing right here. You see this thing right here? Nah, he gets into them and then boom, they cancel. Cord, thanks for this resub, buddy. How you been, man? Oh, Cord, I don't think you were here yesterday, right? I don't think I saw you yesterday. See, nope, you had to work. Yeah, you had to work. How dare, first of all, how dare you? He's done it like 5 times. Big fan of Dark Age, Monpok, and games like that, dang. Did Monpok actually get canceled, or is it just, like, weirdly silent? Or was it, like, officially canceled? See, if I went to the street right now, I'd find a lad that probably looks at me like that man. Give me your boat, or I'm gonna stab you, Cord. I'm gonna stab you with this friggin' knife. Do you see this knife? I'm gonna stab you with it. Oh my god. Oh my god. But all of the Dutch models, they literally look like homeless people, and I love it. They look like they look like Great Depression hobos with their little hats and and they're like just the way they're dressed with like the baggy pants and God, I just love their models. Mike has a bunch of them. I'm excited to see them get painted. Mike is going to be king of the hobos. Once he finishes his little diorama thing. They have been giving backers all the STLs for the game, so the game does have a second second life of sorts. That's not surprising. My ALF have swords. I win. Swords. Mompak Kickstarter is dead. Okay. Nope. Dude, when that game first came out, there was a couple local players. Well, not come out. Whatever the hell happened, where they kind of revitalized it. There were some local players down in Florida where, dude, they would play nothing other than that game, man. Oh my god. Oh, but I guess Monpak is still technically owned by PP, right? Privateer Press. He backed like 3 different Kickstarters and that went nowhere, and then 2 Spanish skirmish games that released and then ran with the money without updating. Oh, goody. Good for them. So now whenever he says he wants to get into a game, I take it as a bad omen. I'm a big fan of what? What hobos? My computer crashed. The models. The Dutch models. They all look like a bunch of homeless people. They didn't buy Monpak, okay. Oh yeah, Dutch. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big fan of. So now, whenever he blah blah blah, yeah, Steamforce didn't buy it. So I guess that's what they're gonna focus on now. Is like Privateer Press gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna get Monpak. Like, what is Privateer Press even doing anymore? If they don't have War Machine, like, what are they doing? Also, that's very sad to hear, Pizza. I guess it's not sad. I guess because I guess it doesn't affect you all that much, but I feel sorry for the guy. Got Hector and Atalantia today, so I think I have the 3 named steel phalanx I plan to use. I like Hector. I'm a Hector fan. Back in the day, it was either Achilles or Hector. I think Achilles was usually a little bit more popular, but I've always liked Hector. But I can use him in 012. And I think he's great. He's a good fighter. He's got great leadership skills. A plasma rifle. I think he has a plasma rifle is real good. Especially if you can get that special dice, because you can actually put him in a team. A pretty good team, thankfully. I don't know. I'm sure that applies in Steel Phalanx as well somewhere. I don't know what he links with. It's probably Merms. Probably Myrmidons. It's either going to be Merms or like Thracatai. But now that Achilles isn't even in Steel Phalanx, I'm curious to know if he's going to have like new life. Book spoilers, Achilles is better than Hector. He's better at fighting. He's not better at... I think Hector's like a better commander though, isn't he? Because Achilles just like loses his friggin' mind all the time. Because he's an emotional man baby. Achilles is in Sea Army now apparently. Yes he is. He went over there like with some kind of liaison program thing. since Sea Army is a part of the human sphere now. Definitely not because his boyfriend is over there. Who's definitely not being like mind controlled by the evil robot. The evil AI thing. You know, all I'm saying is that the Trojan War, it was not Achilles who won that war. Because who actually thought of the idea for the ship? It was Odysseus, right? Wasn't he the one that came up with the idea for the boat? Movie spoiler. Movie spoilers. It's sick. Make sure you have the Paris of Troy model cord, especially if you have Hector. Or not what the heck is her, what is her name? Not Paris. Paris is the prince. What the hell is it? What is her name? Helena? Helena? Is it Helena? Is that what it is? Helena of Troy? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Helen. Paris is the prince. Yeah. Helen, yeah. Which I think Paris is actually in the lore. He's just not in the game yet. There's a lot of recreations I wish they would release into the game in some way or another. Because there's a lot of them. Because there is a Sherlock Holmes, and there is a confirmed Sherlock Holmes in the Infinity setting. There's a confirmed Odysseus. There is a confirmed Hemingway. Hemingway's is in the universe. That's all I can think of off the top of my head that aren't in the game. There's a Watson. I think there is a Watson. But supposedly the Sherlock Holmes realized that when he was around, because he was an 012 recreation, which is one of the reasons why I hope he comes to the game eventually. But Sherlock Holmes, apparently he saw that 012 was getting weaker with him there because he kept solving all the crimes by himself, and the other detectives wouldn't get a chance. So he decided to just leave, and he started. And supposedly there's rumors that he started a private investigation firm somewhere in the human sphere, which is kind of funny. Robin Hook is sort of a recreation. He's like an AI. He's like a rogue AI recreation of that. But he's in the game. Does Sherlock Holmes get a glue gun? I'm sure he has one. It's not like they're very hard to get a hold of. An adhesive launcher. I mean, if you work for 012, there's, I think literally every profile in there that's supposed to be like a street cop gets access to a glue gun profile. They're just not really all that great. Because unfortunately, since people can break out of it if you hit them with it, it's not like you've gotten the job done, you know what I mean? So, like back in the day in N2, and 3, I think. When you got glued, you were stuck. You can only get out with an engineer, which made it way more useful. Oh. Jay just sent me a thing with models. Give him a chain rifle. Yeah, dude, I'm all about chain rifles. Yeah, just so you know, Mike, I played Infinity against Wilmar yesterday. And, yeah, you're never going to believe this. My dice wouldn't let me do much until, like, the very end. I'd have a model appear, get shot and die after I missed, you know. With advantage. Everybody's always like, yeah, you gotta pick your shots better, Dylan. Wilmar's a cutie. He has playing with dice. He bet me that if I won, I could be co-host of Arachne, but I said no because I wouldn't betray Mike like that. I don't remember that happening, but I appreciate. But I appreciate that candor. You know, I appreciate you telling the truth. If that is true, I appreciate you telling the truth. I don't think that's true, but I guess, you know, I do have a pretty bad memory, especially when it comes to all the dehydration, you know, that comes after I cry after a good loss out of a game of Infinity. Guys, we're doing it. I can tell. We're gonna finish these Dutchmen, and I love it. I love finishing units. I love it. I don't know, Wilmar. I don't think he's buying it. That or he's playing Counter-Strike. He'll see. He'll see it if he needs to. All right. Okay. I see. All right. Okay. Okay. Have you ever thought that maybe this is gonna be Mike? He's gonna meet you outside your house and he's gonna stab you with his knife and then shoot you with a gun. Do you ever think about that? Bucko? That's just it's just living in America. I'm interacting with community Grayson and Keith. Grayson and Keith, and I'm also trying to pay attention to me slow. Oh, okay. What are you doing? You guys playing a game or something? Oh, you guys playing Magic? Is that what you're doing? Well, don't forget to make the event for tomorrow. As assistant Warcore, I want you to. I got a SpongeBob deck. Wonderful. Gotta love the power of TTS. We should do a whip it out today. Yeah, we'll do as soon as I'm done with this base. As soon as I'm done with this highlight on this guy, we'll do a whip it out. So if you've been working on anything you want us to talk about, put it into whip. Put it into whip. Put it in whip. I've had a couple people go on trips and stuff lately. Said they were gonna get back into it today. Now's your chance. We know we have a Lauren DeGaff somewhere out there. And anyone who has a local Blood and Plunder person, I did get the tournament kit, or the Summer of Plunder kit. I did get one. I knew people. And next week. Okay, perfect. Good to hear, buddy. So I think we will have to do some kind of like event for Blood and Plunder. Maybe like the last week of Summer of Plunder. Maybe we'll have like a little event at the store, and I'll give out the prizes from the box. I'll see if I can get my army ready for that. So yeah, that'd be great. Oh, dude, I would make sure it happens if that's what you want. So it'll be probably the last week of Summer Plunder. We're week 5, right? Let's see if it has a date on this chart thing. It does. It does have the dates. Okay, so 8/4. So it'll be the last week of August. Yeah, we should do that. So last week of August, I'll double check the calendars tomorrow, but it's going to be around then, depending on other events. So if you can get enough stuff by then. I won't. It's not going to be a tournament, so I'm not going to make it like point specific, but I will definitely do like a little game day, and I might do like a bingo card. And there'll be coins, models, and I think that's it. I think it's coins and models in it. And we need to thank Blood and Pigment for helping me get access to it. They are fantastic guys. So if you guys ever have the opportunity to get stuff from their merch booth on their website, Blood and Pigment is fantastic. Even Chris got some of their stuff today. He got some of their little token sets from the looks of it. Their coins are rad. I love their coins. Technically, they get them outsourced from somebody else. They're like technically they don't make them, but they also make some nice cheap accessible sails for the starter sloops that I believe Joe makes himself. And Joe is just a real stand-up guy. He's a real trooper. He's a great guy. Like every time I've ever talked to him, it's been a privilege. He's very, very good for the community. Get that back. Get the back. Get the back. Yeah, it has tokens in it. Yep. Tokens. Last week of August is in Nova. I thought Nova was. Oh, is that the same weekend? That might be. Oh, you might be right. I was thinking it was the week before. So it'll be the weekend after Nova, then, if that's the case. Nova is... Oh, that is... Yeah, that is the same weekend. Never mind. It'll have to be that Sunday. So it'll be Sunday the 7th. Put that in my calendar so I forget. Anyway, have a cigarette. You know how your blood pressure is, Chris. You gotta make sure you can't get too excited, man. Your blood pressure is gonna go through the roof. You know what your doctor said? He's like, take it easy on the tokens. Take it easy on the tokens, Mr. Chris. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get the love of game aids. He'll never understand. How can I say? They have foreign words on them. They're all written in European. Ugh, disgusting. There's European all over my thing. I spent good, hard American dollary dues on this. It's covered in European. Ugh. Disgusting. You guys best bet that when the American Revolution is a thing in Blood and Plunder, I'll be playing the hell out of the Continental Army. And I am gonna play the heck out of John what is his name? John Scott or whatever his name is. Oh, that's not him. What is the guy? He's like the sailor that was like effing crazy. What was his name? John Paul Jones. There it is. Yeah, John Paul. You best believe I'm gonna be playing John Paul Jones. Like that guy was a psychopath. I love it. And anybody who doesn't know who John Paul Jones is, you need to look him up because he's amazing. he's so cool. He actually invented a American flag that only he uses, or only he used, because he needed one, and he didn't know what an American flag looked like because he hadn't been to America when the flag was made. So he went into the Netherlands, and he had to have a flag made because since he was raiding for a country that had just been recognized by the powers of Europe. If he didn't have a flag, he would have been considered a pirate. So he had to get a flag made that he heard about third hand. He didn't know what it looked like, so he described it to somebody. And then they made the flag. I'll have to show you the flag. It's really cool. Yeah, this is the flag. So the story is that he fought for the Americans in the Revolutionary War, and he raided England on a single boat, and he kept raiding the coast of England, and the British couldn't track him down because he was just sailing around like a crazy person. And he stopped in the Netherlands, and he didn't have a flag because America, when he left, didn't exist. Like the country of America, we hadn't declared independence yet. We might have declared independence, but we weren't recognized by the European powers yet, so we didn't need a flag. So then when the French came to help us, they recognized us as a foreign power, and so then I think the Netherlands did right after them. So he based himself there in order to resupply. He didn't have a flag, so they made one up. He made it out on the spot. Because I think he talked to Benjamin Franklin or something. I don't remember exactly how it was, but he didn't know anybody that actually knew what the flag looked like. So they described it to him. It's actually kind of a cool looking flag. I'm probably gonna use that at some point. Before it even happens, I'm gonna make a John Paul Jones boat and put the American stuff on it. I'll probably play him as British or whatever until they actually get rules. But I'm 100% putting that flag on it. It's such a cool. I love history. It's so full of little stupid things like that. So that is a recognized flag in the United States. That is a United States flag because they had to recognize it because John Paul Scott used it in the Netherlands once because he made it up. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't even think he was American. I think he was like I think he was Scottish. I think he was like some Scottish guy who just like hated the English. Also, don't forget in Led Zeppelin. And he was also in Led Zeppelin. That's true. That's true, actually. Is it actually still? I thought that was like just John. I thought that was just like John Jones. Is it still John Paul Jones? Oh no, it actually is John. Oh, it is still John Paul Jones. I thought it was just John Jones. I didn't know it was also John Paul Jones. I didn't know that. I don't know. Yet again, the superiority of Led Zeppelin.
What's a good alternative color in case I don't have Talo blue?
Anything that's even similar to it, so just like a dark color. Regal blues work. I've used Regal blues a lot. So you just want some kind of dark blue. You don't really have to be that specific. It doesn't have to really be super picky. So royal blues, Prussian blues. I guess it depends on what brand you're coming at it from. If you're coming from GW, it used to be called Regal blue. I guess you're just some shit. Yeah, you can't paint. You actually have to just give up painting. You're done. You're done in this town, Wilmar. Hang it up. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do a whip it out right now. So if you have not put anything in there yet, hurry it up. Hurry up. Take your time, but hurry up. Anyway, Chris, what do you think of that? Would it be fun to have a John Paul Jones boat before he can even play America? I don't know. I just love the idea. I think it's such a neat idea. You want to talk about like a real fringe thing? Like if somebody pulls that up and they're like, "What is that flag?" Oh, this is John Paul Jones, and he'd be like, "Oh, I know what John Paul Jones is."
If you are out of all other options, give Deacon Blues a chance, Wilmar.
Boop. And boop. I don't think I've ever seen... I don't know if I've ever seen a Deacon Blue. Let me check. Deacon Blue. Are you talking about the band? You talking about the band X-Paxis? Okay, Deacon Blue is a real color. I think Deacon Blue might work. That's probably a little bright, but that could work. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. That they do. That's true. Nemesis, aliens. Oh, you're playing Nemesis stuff. That's cool. Ooh, there he is. Actually, wow. Chris, doing a good job. Okay, and shout out to Painter J. He sent me this thing, which apparently does have some stuff for pirate stuff. I haven't looked at this website yet. I wasn't expecting something called gay stuff. I'm gonna immediately click it. Look at that. Anne Bonny and Mary Reed right there at the front. Yeah, go muscle mommies. Gay stuff. Huh. Princess Anne. Muscle mommies. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. Noogie thing yet. Raging Annie. I like that. That's actually kind of cool. I might put that in my bolt action army. It's pretty cool. Mary Reed and Anne Bonny. Anne Bonny. Capybara. Baggy the Bag. The future of Japan. Ooh. Johanna the Fleeing. Anyway, yeah, shout out to this website, Bad Squiddo Games. They got some neat stuff. Ooh, that explains where he got that model. That's kind of cool. A lot of female empowerment stuff in here. Fairytopia. little forest friends, it's adorable. That's so cute. Okay. Anyway, we need to focus. Okay, you guys are getting distracted. All right, here we go. So, we have a Morlock. This is a Morlock from Wilmar. This is the Colossus one. It's probably the most common one that you'll bump into. Very good model. It's one of their best ones, I think. And I think he said he was starting the white. Started working on one of my favorite models in general. Yeah, it's a great model. Absolutely huge fan of this one. The red looks good so far. He's just blocking in colors. And it looks like you've been working on the metal. I'm assuming you're doing non-metal metallic on his arms. Enhance.
Enhance. Enchance.
Enchance. Ooh, oh my. Oh my. Yeah, you're doing non-metal metallic on the arms. When I switch, one of my modders' resolution's a little different, so sometimes I have to puff it up or down. Yeah, it looks good so far. It looks like metal, so that's good. Obviously, it looks great. Yeah, big fan, bud. Big fan, buddy. This looks great. As always. You're bumping into that, and again, this might be the camera stealing saturation away from it, but you're bumping into the same problems I have with red, where I just feel like it's so hard to get depth out of it, because I have no respect for myself, or my time. But I'm just saying that because I know you haven't worked on the red yet. But I like it so far. I think it looks great. No respect for myself or my time. And then Mr. Dan here, he's been pumping some stuff out here. So he's got his Nurgle team. He's got 5 Canary Life Takers, and he has the Nemesis aliens and the crew from the board game. So these are the Canaries. That looks like a... That's I forget what the linemen and the Nurgle team is called. The zombies, the ones that fall apart. Yeah, that dark red will be turned up. So, yeah, I have no doubt. That's always how I feel about my reds. They just always feel... I just feel like my reds are always so flat. I don't know. It's my cross to bear. So the linemen are called rotters. I thought, what are the brutes called? The big guys that, the warriors of chaos, the Nurgle warrior of chaos guys. What are they called? Oh, those are called bloaters. Oh, my bad. That makes sense, because they're bloated. Alright, well, whatever. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Bloaters. Okay, never mind. So rotters are the... Okay, so that's a rotter, for sure. Another rotter, another rotter. That looks like a pestigore. Another rotter. This must be from Nemesis, because I don't recognize that. And there's another canary. Yeah, no, yeah, there's the grading. Nemesis. And then the deer, yeah, the runners, the pestigores, yeah. Hey, you gotta love anything with horns. Gotta love that +1 strength on the rush. If that... Yeah, that is what they still have. That's what Gores used to have anyway, when I still played. Man, these aliens are terrifying. You know, I played Nemesis once. And the alien appeared once, and then we had literally 3 events happen that caused the fire to spread and the ship exploded. Like we didn't even really interact with the alien at all. So I feel like I kind of missed some of the point of that game. I was like, this is kind of a neat game. I went up there and I checked the navigation computer to make sure we were on course for Earth or whatever, and just didn't get to go there because the ship exploded randomly. It was very Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Canaries, yay! I love Canaries. They're such amazing models. This Mama Jama looks like trouble. Trouble. A couple more rot. There. They're the bloaters. Look at them big old chunky boys. Good thing about an Nurgle team is you don't even have to paint them well and they look good. Couple more aliens. How many of these aliens you gotta fight? The game? I thought the game was supposed to be like Alien, where you didn't actually fight them. And then Chris has been working on Lorenz de Gaff. When I played, me and my opponent had similar goals: one to bring the ship to Earth, and the other to crash it into Mars. So we kept going back. He kept going back to the console. That's what happens when you lose trust in your fellow man, you know. I like it so far. This is looking good. Chris, I can tell you've been putting more time into this one. Yeah, base looks good. I assume you're going to try and finish them tonight, so he can be ready for tomorrow. Rot spawn. Oh, look at him. I love the faces on the Beast of Nurgle. They always look so stupid. Die. I love Beast of Nurgle more than anything else in fantasy. They're so damn cute in a terrifying kind of way. Shooting for tomorrow, sweet. Love it. Yeah, I think it looks great so far. The hair looks good. Working on the shirt looks good. I like the differences in like the depth you're getting in the blue. Big fan. And then we got ourselves a bloat spawn, I think is what they're called in that game. It's just to beat the Nurgle. Look how happy he is. Look how big old boogers coming out of him. I love how that kit comes with like 5 boogers you can just like add onto the body in different places. It's like, and here's your optional booger sprue. I've built a couple Beasts of Nurgle in my day. I think it looks good so far, though. I love the pink and pale green thing's always a great combination. And then I think if you go, kind of go with that red around the mouth, especially like it's really irritated, and like the big like boogers, I think it'll look great. Really just gore it up, you know. So I think it's in good hands, Dan. I think you're gonna do a great job. Well, you know what, Chris? Hopefully, I'll be playing maybe a fully painted unit of Dutchmen. Red around the mouth is what I'm finishing up. Finishing. Awesome. I think it's gonna look good. A little bit of blood effect, you know, just to kind of accentuate it, to make it look like, you know, there's blood vessels popping in his nose and all that stuff. If a beast of Nurgle could be considered having a nose. Yeah, I think you're gonna do great. I'm excited to see your team. We'll have to compare notes at the end. Yeah, and anybody who's not aware, we are moving. We had a bit of an issue with the checks, which I think has been fixed. So hopefully, I'm just going to contrast my base. Do people do anything for their BMP bases? I'm wondering if I should do anything for them, for the Mind Braves. I mean, you could add like, depending on what you want to do. I've done a few of them where I've actually filled it in with like texture paint or whatever and make it look like a regular base, you know. It's just kind of cool that they give you a textured base that works really well. But yeah, it's legitimately in a perfect position to either where you can make more out of it or you can just contrast it and be done. Because there's even like, you can even paint the nails in the base. So it's like not even just pieces of wood, you know, there's like more in there. It really just depends on what you want to do. So when I was doing, when I was printing out bases for the Rum and Bone models I was using, obviously they didn't have textures on them. They were just little 20mm bases. So I was getting a little more fancy. And some of them I'll add a little bit of water. So my water texture stuff, I'll add like some spilled water on a couple of the bases here and there just to kind of spruce them up a little bit. But no, most people just paint the wood. And time to just contrast them to make the process quicker, or doing the usual base paste and then going over that. I mean, yeah, I think either one would like take you. I don't know. Maybe I think the base paste one might just take you a little bit longer, just because you got to wait for it to dry, you know. But it's really not that complicated. Just do a little paste, you know, some dry brushing, and then paint some flock. It's not like a huge deal. And the bases tend to not take very long because they're obviously they're very small. Mike, did you see the model I finished for you? I think I mentioned it. I don't remember if I saw you say anything. You might have been looking at magic. Well, as far as I'm aware, this is the last one before I pay you back. But I think he came out pretty good. I'm going to put some stuff on his base before I dry him, before I varnish him. I was actually painting today. I did a lot of packing really, really fast, and I realized it's like, yeah, I'm going to sit down and paint. So, you got one more guy done. I think all of Ankle Bites is done except for Trouble. And again, if you feel like you need him for Nova, I'll 100% make sure he's done. Is there anything on that model you want me to change? I'm not entirely sure how many things you'd even have to get, Omar. Because I think the Native American box is probably like 16 dudes. It's probably like 2-ish units, roughly. Because I think it comes with 16 guys. I think the biggest issue you might have with that aesthetically is that I think the generic box is more supposed to be a Caribbean natives, at least look-wise. The rules are the same, essentially. Yeah, you just want to play. Yeah. No biggie then. For the more in-depth native game, I still have Mythic Americas I need to build. Yeah, right. I definitely don't think this game would completely stop me from wanting to play Mythic America, at least locally. I think I'm still down to getting that eventually. Not being able to go to that tournament was a bit of a bummer. But I don't foresee myself not playing it. I just have to wait until the timing's right. So it definitely has to be after the move. I'm on my way. I'm almost there. I look like hell, baby, but I don't care. Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're not worried, but I definitely need to just make sure I'm careful, especially in these next couple months. The thing that would manage to get me to do it is if I just sold more stuff, obviously, and if more stuff for me to paint, like more, commission jobs. I think a lot of my modeling budget is going to be very dependent on what I'm doing for other people. Which feels weird, but it definitely, in a weird way, it's kind of nice. And again, it forces me to like look at what I already got. Which is definitely not a bad thing. Because even like yesterday, right? I did finish that Riddler. I'll have to go grab him. I did varnish him and everything, but like that's a great example of just like I've had that model forever. Why is he not done? I'm gonna really, really be cracking down on just stuff that I have in my house. It's definitely gonna become a time of appreciating what I have and not necessarily worrying about getting more. I don't even have to take a vow because I can't spend money anyway. So I don't even have to take the vow. It's an actual physical inability, which I guess is a lot better. Hell, baby, but I don't care. Leave it on the floor. Okay. This guy's getting really close. Is that painted? That is painted. Okay, so we're going to paint that red. So he's going to have some red on him. We're going to just sharpen up some of these reds. Yeah, 30 odd figs and a brig, and I consider the BMP for A complete except for maybe a foam island or two. I mean, at least with Blood and Plunder, you can always come back at it and just like get a boat, you know, and it kind of spices it up. So it's like even later on, if we play it a lot, right, and you've really been enjoying it, it's super easy to just get a boat. Just get a boat. The mistake I made was also buying into Bolt Action. Yeah, I know, he was telling me. So the other guy that was at the store, who was playing against Chris, was that the guy that you get into these games with? Is that him? His name John? Is that his name? The good news is I have a lot of Bolt Action, so we can always play Bolt Action. I'm always down to play Bolt Action. Yeah, his name is John. Wow, look at that off the top of my head. Damn, look at me. Yeah. I'm down to play Bolt Action. I love Bolt Action. I love my Russian army. And the new books offer a lot of kind of like new ways to play, because there's like a army creation system with the Army of books, which is like if you play like the Commonwealth, you actually pick like what country Commonwealth you play, and then it'll change the rules up a little bit. And for like stuff like Germans, when you play that, you pick like the different like specialties, so you can play like the Burjäger or whatever, and it'll change up the stuff. You actually, yeah, I remember you saying you got Russians. He's newer to wargaming, as in like starting with MVP and slowly. Yeah, I do kind of like vaguely. I'm vaguely aware of him. I know that he shows up pretty sporadically, at least for a while there. It seems like he's always there now. I remember for a while there he was kind of hit or miss with the MCP crowd. Yeah, Russians are fun. They have a lot of really cool options. Being, you know, obviously one of the superpowers helps you kind of switch things up, right? Because you just get access to many years of murder. Like that, you know, like when the Russians have been in the war since pretty much the beginning, it's very easy to have a lot of different stuff to take because you've been fighting non-stop for like a decade. But yeah, I can play every side of that conflict. I got Japanese, I got Americans, I got German, I got a bunch of different kinds of Germans. I think I can effectively play both sides of every theater, whether it be Western or Eastern Front or Pacific. So I'm your boy. And there will definitely be some blood and bayonets in the future as well, too, just to paint some Napoleonics. He's a busy dude, so he makes it when he can. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not knocking him. I'm just saying, I definitely recognized him. As a fellow busy dude, I get that. I 100% understand. He does seem like somebody who can keep it chill. He doesn't seem like someone who's hell-bent on winning at all costs. Which instantly gives them a pass in my book. I'm almost there. Baby, but I don't care. And I assume Chris is not going to join in Blood and Bayonets until Austerlitz comes out, so we need we're gonna need some Austrians. Wanted to play a game for the sake of playing a game. Yeah, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that was ever a possibility? I guess I'll make that blue. Better buy some more white. Yeah, the Austro. Yeah, no kidding. A lot of white, a lot of yellow, a lot of green. I suspect I will be painting British and French. So I'm going to be painting a whole variety of colors. And I love the Vistula Legion. Having an entire army of just angry Poles. It's pretty cool. Big fan of that. I should ask in the Blood and Plunder or Blood and Bayonets group, like if there's any, I don't know if time frame is the right word, but like any indication on how easy it would be to get to play, to have somebody play as like another country that's just not in the game. Because it is weird that they're making this book, right? But it's only for the only the peninsular part, only the Peninsular War, which is kind of weird. Because that's definitely a limited scope, because there's only 4 countries there. I say 4 countries. I guess 4 powers, I guess might be the right way to put it, because from what I understand, the British and the French, there's going to be a lot of rules for like the other parts of their armies that are in fact not the same nationality. So there's a lot of Germans, a lot of German stuff. There's the Poles. There's the There's a lot of Irish. I got your Peninsula War right here, yo, boom. You totally got me. Good job, Chris. You know, I guess I'm just gonna paint him having black hair because I forgot to paint it. I look like hell, baby, but I don't care. It's killing me. I got you, honey, get with me and we can make an isthmus. It's my new geo pickup. Thank you. That was really good. That was good, man. Is that how you picked up your lady? Is that how you got married? Did she just go? Did she skip go and go straight to marriage with that one? She did not collect $200 kind of thing. I will say these guys have been tantalizing me for so long with being almost done that even if I have to end the stream, I might just stay up past my bedtime to finish these things. I'm not even gonna call them stupid because I love them. I love these models. I just want them to be done. Execute. What do you think I'm doing, Chris? What do you think I'm doing right now? On the floor, I'm looking like a girl, babe. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I've already been having some giggles today, so it's been a good stream. We lost Mike, but we have to keep going, you know? He'll live on in our hearts. I just think it's funny that it takes 2 live mods to get to Cordone me. Epax and Cord. I mean, how many things are you saying that aren't getting through? Mike, did you see the model I painted for you? I was asking if you needed anything changed on it before I bring it to you tomorrow. It looks okay. You do like it. Okay. Sweet. And as far as I'm aware, I think the models I owed you were done. I think that's the last one, because I think it was Harley, Big Top, Baringa, Spike, Maul, and then Pike. 7 or 8 per stream. I'm a never-ending font of skin. I mean, I don't really care. Like, I don't care about profanity. I guess it's just because with AMG, especially when it comes to their streams and stuff at like the big cons, they just don't want profanity in there, and I just don't think he turns it off. I just don't think he turns the filter off. Here. I'll play this in... play that in Friendship.
Halt! Sir, you can't enter the United Nations with that weapon.
It's all right, soldier.
He's my
Mr.
bodyguard.
Sampson is my bodyguard.
Just the same, Doctor. No weapons allowed. I'll have to confiscate it.
Go ahead. Take it from me.
Go ahead. Take it from me. It's hard to keep up. I mean, geez, how much profanity is this guy using? What's your profanity? I mean, it's like a test. It makes you a better person, Mr. Chris. The obstacle is the way, as the Stoics would say. So good, but I still can't find it. I don't know why you're having some trouble with it. Wait, I'll just show you. I'll show you. That's true. Yeah, you can't just use those words, you know. It loses the luster after a while. Here. Here's the Twitch screen, right? Hey, look, it's me. Hi, me. Look at that delay. Look at that delay! Oh my god! That delay is so bad! Oh my god. Alright, anyway, so it's right here. And then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then take it from me.
Halt! Sir, you can't enter the United Nations with that weapon.
It's all right, soldier. Mr. Sampson is my bodyguard.
Just the same, Doctor. No weapons allowed. I'll have to confiscate it.
Go ahead. Take it from me.
I don't know. I still really have to wonder how Hanna-Barbera would react if he could see the way we use his cartoons. That was a good try. Again, you have to. If this ear's not on, it doesn't get me. That was a good try, though. That was a good try.
Halt! Sir,
There you go.
you can't enter the United Nations with that weapon.
It's all right, soldier. Mr. Sampson is my bodyguard.
Just the same, Doctor. No weapons allowed. I'll have to confiscate it.
Go ahead. Take it from me.
You can see the side of my fat head? Okay. Well, that's weird that you would word it that way. Wow. What are you, stupid? Then why did you do it when My headset's not on. What are you stupid? Oh, you can't. I see. Well, what are you talking about? I was looking at the... Yeah, well, whatever. That's fine. Usually I wait till Kara's gone, but I just didn't put it back yet. I'm sorry. I let you down again. So we're at 10:20. I'm gonna be a little upsetty spaghetti if we don't finish these guys. I'm gonna say it. I said it. I'm gonna say it, but I already said it. But I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be a little upsetty spaghetti. I want to take a family photo before I go to bed. Yeah, listen to that guy. I'm doing good. Thanks, Ernie. That's so nice. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, buddy. Just wait till the new studio. I heard he's gonna have like five cameras.
Oh, Carl, here comes your first
Just
buddy
right
now.
What's up, guys?
Whoa, Chief. How about you watch where you're walking here?
How about you pay attention to
where
where
you're
you're standing,
asshole? How about you watch where you're driving there, bud? How about you watch where you're going? How about you watch where you're standing, asshole?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Jeez. You know what? That's a good redeem. I'll have to get that on the regular rotation. Ernie's here. He made it. The whole gang's here. Everybody's here. Except Josh. Josh died. And here Josh was saying that he was gonna start his own either YouTube channel or Twitch stream. I wonder what happened. What's going on with Easy E? Also, Easy E, I've been trying to paint this alien for the past 5 nights, and I didn't prime it black. I primed it like gray, and I've had to base coat it with black paint multiple times a day, and I think I finally got it to the point where I can actually paint the damn thing. Because there was like so many little nooks and crannies in that stupid thing. Because I ran out of canned primer. So like, yeah, here's the Predator. So I had to use like this black, and then I had to use the Wraith Bone, and for some reason the Wraith Bone just did not want to take the black. You're shipping more. You're sending more to Tesseract? Because what was going on with this thing earlier? Was he like going out of business or something? Or that it's them, right? It's like it's not just one guy, right? It's like a couple people. You just happen to have Mr. Tesseract. Yeah, the new quasi creatures. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely coming. Like I said, I've tried doing it multiple times, and then like for some reason I just can't get the paint to stick. I don't think the alien's gonna take very long because it literally is just one color. Because like even the tongue, right? Even isn't the tongue also just black, right? The whole thing is black. It's high gloss black. So I have a sneaking suspicion that when I actually get a chance to sit down and paint it, which should be the next time, it might not get painted on stream, but it should be like the next time I sit down. Except the teeth, right. Right. Do you want me to put a gloss coat on it for him to, like, be shiny? Nah, not going out of business. More trying to figure out how to keep business going. I may have ordered a metric ton of paint amount when I first started. Still working through the backlog. Last bit is OSS and Malifaux, right. I'm hoping that the stuff you want to play in Malifaux is, like, still decent with the new edition. I've listened to a couple podcasts about the new edition, and it's mostly just been about core rules. I really haven't paid attention to any like specific keywords or anything. I really do just want the game to I want them to be a little bit more firmed up before I pop back in. It is. I played a few games with it. It's not overpowered or anything, but it's still got its great. Okay, good. Well, that's good. Glad to hear that. Do you want? I don't know if you know if you said it yet. Do you want the gloss coat on the alien? The new rules for Yoko base is pretty awesome. More control. Oh, good. Well, that's good. Yeah, it was a shame that that fantastic model just wasn't really very good. Is the daughter the totem for the first one or the second one now? What I think looks good. Okay. This is what I'll do. I'll paint it high contrast with paint. I will send you a picture or I'll show it to you in person. And then I'll let you just make the decision. So if I bring it to you in person, I'll just bring a paint on gloss with me. Daughter's totem for first. The second totem is all three Kuni. Oh, see, that's a good idea. The title Yoko has a Princess Amidala and her bodyguards role. See, that's interesting. Interesting. Well, good job to them. I think for this new edition, I think I'm going to be pretty guild heavy. Is Yoko still a summoner? Because I still think that needs a whole rework. They really went into flavor. Yoko base is still a summoner, but very limited options for summoning. I don't like that word. I don't like that word. As soon as you say the S word, I start getting a little antsy. You know what? Let me tell you a secret, Wilmar. Do you know what Blood and Plunder doesn't have? Summoning mechanics. It's almost like you have to play with what you bring. And you don't get to just bullshit your way through the game. One of them came in with slow, and since slow doesn't go away until the end of the turn, the model could use a signature action to remove the slow and get their full activation. Which that's not good. You see, especially if they want to keep a stupid mechanic like summoning in their game, they have to make it tight. If you refuse to just get rid of that terrible mechanic, you at least need to make sure that it's not possible to just ignore the weaknesses of it. That defeats the purpose. The other problem was a model that could be summoned at 10 health when all other factions get their summons at half health, and since it's incredibly hard to kill anything insufficient, it meant that all the work went to the trash. They do a slow summon, and you have to get a target enemy model to debuff. Entrance to summon. You can only do it once per turn. Kabuki Warrior Charm Warriors. Oh, so they have addressed some of it. The summoning seemed tacked on and not really in line with there being an information broker. I've definitely reached a point where I've kind of missed it. I've missed Malifaux, at least the universe. You know, getting a chance to come back and play it. I actually am looking forward to it. Yeah, the first set of rules are amazing. The hand manipulation and the control model if you have full leverage. Which I'm assuming is her probably like keyword ability. It has been interesting listening to the few little instances of like me listening to people play the new edition, and I'm not really listening to specific keyword reviews, but almost all of them had said that all of the keywords feel like they play differently, and not that they felt like they were going against like what the model originally was like all about, so like information brokering or whatever, but they said that almost all of the different crews have felt much different than their previous renditions, and that they've gotten themselves in trouble because they'll go in thinking that their models are going to play a certain way, and they don't, because they're used to like the old way of playing them. Yeah, they forced everything to be different. Which, I mean, in some ways, you know, it's fine. Like, whatever. Like, I think it's good for the models that just weren't getting used. Like, Yoko 1's probably a good example of that. I mean, I'd rather see them get used than not. I do agree, killing is much harder. The playstyle is different. I like it more than 3 so far. So like, well, only one crew just pillar. Yeah, that is a little weird. You would think like elemental stuff especially might kind of go around a little bit more, since there are obviously masters in each faction that kind of mess with elements. You know, it's like Karai, or I'm sorry, Karis is obviously very fire-based, so it'd be weird for her to like not have fire markers, you know? The game demands you score every turn, and for lack of a better set of terms, really diluted the experience. I was told that the rotating objective thing, whatever they call it, the storyline or whatever it is, makes it so that it's harder to not score. Like, scoring is much more, like, consistent, I have been told. But it definitely does, and it's interesting that you can score hardcore mode versions of objectives or whatever in order to, like, maybe catch up. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. What that looks like in practice, obviously I'm not aware. I haven't played in a few weeks, but scoring is a massive hurdle depending on the selection of schemes you get. Yeah, but I heard they rotate, though. So, like, there's a pool of 3 of them, but then they change? Sometimes you'll see 3 that are just a waste of space. Yeah, I'd have to see it in person for me to really have a educated opinion on that one. I thought the idea sounded interesting. Sometimes you do get schemes you cannot do. Sure, sometimes you get 3, but there are 3 of them, right? And they have a specific rotation, don't they? Like, one of them always turns into another one. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Or like if you have scenario 1, you always get scenario 2 afterwards. Like it's a set, like a set rotation. And the current hypothesis that the GGs will just change that. And they'll build like different. I think it's called the storyline. Yes, the next card that rotates to is set. Okay, so you kind of can predict what's coming. I didn't really explain my train of thought there. The game had more facets than thirds. Sometimes killing a model of an enemy from flanking is can move, as to prevent them from scoring and force their decision-free tree to change. Now, since nothing dies, you are just trying to outscore each other, which means you're not interacting with the opponent as much. That actually, that reminds me a lot of Batman, Wilmar, if that makes me any sense. It reminds me of how they classified Infinity. Yeah, that's a good example. Is it similar to like the Batman situation where it's just like you could have objectives in your hand that just make it so you never actually technically interact with the other person that you're playing with, other than you just do things to maybe prevent them from scoring? Actually, yes, the Batman custom is somewhat. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but at least with the card thing in Batman, it makes it really kind of hard to predict, which is a problem in its own. But that's a whole other set of issues. These are 3 schemes. You pick one and try to score it that round. So far, in my experience, more often than not, you can't score which one your opponent is scoring behind. So you have to do the strategy better in order to stay in the game. And then which can't come with Bill and the probably don't work. Probably Brandon, I assume. Yeah. Well, we're gonna finish one of them at least. If you were flipping like usually, then who were you playing? If you were flipping like usually, then I'm not surprised. I do agree the killing is too hard. Killing is too easy. There's any more balance what they never delivered on. First dead, but third is dead. Now we're stuck with 4. That originally one scheme is for killing a model, and they have to update that to make it scoreable. So I don't have a strong feeling either way. Yeah, I will say one of the things that people were discussing is that it does seem like it might be too easy to score as well. Where if you have crews that are good at scoring, then it actually seems like it's likely that people are going to go into a 10-10 score. Alright, everybody, pulling out the phthalo blue. Patalo blue. Like I said, if you ignore your opponent, you can score your stuff. The game offers new experience, which is not what I particularly wanted out of it. Yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from with that. Well, that's how I feel about MCP right now. Is I don't think MCP is a bad game. It's just not my game. Yeah, I just felt like MCP with more stuff. It's probably not going to do great with me then. But again, I like the universe. I'll play it. But it's just not something I'll travel to play kind of thing. You know, got a couple games like that. We've had this conversation a few times. Yep. I mean, it's exactly how I feel about MCP. If somebody were to be like, hey, Dylan, I really want to play MCP with you, I'll be like, sure, let's do it. But I find that most of the people I know, we play other stuff. And it's not like the MCP community has been, like, out crying for me to come back. I told Joss if he wants to play, I'd do it. I only want to play with people in here, plus Brandon. I gotta use this. I gotta get use out of this massive investment. Dude, I even told you to stop buying stuff. You just kept buying. You're a sucker. I did resist. I don't think I bought anything during the Toyota-thon. Yeah, the weird say. Yeah, the sale. Yeah, it's not much of a sale. No, that was actually a sale. Things were cheaper than retail. Which, you know, we appreciate you doing that for us. Got further along on the graph highlight. Happy to, because I was going to say I think you bought a couple things then. Yeah, that was a sale. What Weird does is a misusername and we're going to have to spend due to FOMO. Yes. You think you're going to finish them, Mr. Chris? Alright, I think we did it. One's done. Alright, so we got like 30 minutes. There's no way in hell we're going to finish this. So I will have to finish some of this after stream. Depends how long I can stay up. Really need to tackle this whole glazing business. Yeah. That's something we could do in person, quite honestly. Don't take my negative comments if you're enjoying the game. Keep doing that. I'm just mad my favorite edition is dead. Yeah. That happens. I get that. I mean, I miss second, I'll be honest. Like, I've been on record, like, I know I enjoyed second edition more than I enjoyed third. Like, the weird, unnecessarily complicated things that were happening in third, I was like, I just missed third, or second, when it was just a little more simple in regards to, like, what the objectives were and stuff. I don't know, I just pined for the old days. The interesting thing was with second edition, though, there was a lot of like really busted stuff, obviously, but I guess I was lucky because our local communities didn't really do it. Well, I wish you luck, Chris.
Back in my day, Lady Justice could walk up to a Malosaurus Rex and kill it, and then walk away to go do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she can't even get a raise on her attacks to deal more than 3 damage.
I have a feeling that is going to be something that really frustrates me in this new edition, is if I'm playing a Killing Master and it can't kill something, I'm not going to be happy. Kill it and then walk away and do it again. Went hard and ruined my friend deck. SpongeBob just wanted to make more friends. Yeah, that's... I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Keith is an unapologetic monster, though. We know that. Guys, he came back. You guys might lose me on this one because the lines on these things are insane. They are very small. I mean, I'm here and there and then there and there. It's whose turn it is. Nothing dies. I'm not gonna like that then. I'm not gonna like that. I have a friend taking from the edition. Get him before he could finish the sentence. I mean, I'm here and there. And when I play some of the more hardcore Killing Masters, it just wasn't fun. The one round kills where you were just hosed were no fun at all for me. It's not fun for either side. Says the guy who has Bill and the murder bot. My job in the game is to aim the missile and have to destroy stuff. Yeah, your mission was to drain the other person's hand and deck so they couldn't defend themselves and then kill them with the missile. Yeah, you're right. I like the changes. I don't know, man. They are not co-op games. At the end, someone wins, someone loses. They come out expecting the milestone. Yeah. I mean, that happens in Infinity all the time. The one downside of Infinity that I think is that it does not have a mercy kill rule. I think most good games have those. Where the game, once somebody gets like to a certain point of beating the other person, the game just fucking ends. Before the other person has to sit there and be tortured for 30 minutes. That is the one thing I wish Infinity had. It's, you know, quote unquote, that's what Retreat is supposed to be. But I have noticed that getting into Retreat's actually not that easy. Like, in order to get knocked into Retreat, you have to lose a lot of stuff. And weirdly enough, the ones that get knocked into Retreat more often than not are the ones that bring big models, who are the ones that usually kind of benefit from the game ending, because when you have a big model like that, you're tying up the other person's time so much that they don't really have time to do objectives, and now all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, they didn't have time to do objectives, and now that all my stuff's done, the game's over anyway. So war game for reasons I still want to, but that's not fun. Retreat is damn hard to get to, and agree on mercy killing at a point. It's just not fun for you. Yeah, I think any game, I think games do need a mercy kill. MCP has a good one, where once it gets to a certain score, the game just ends. Blood and Plunder has it with the strikes. God, why are these so hard to see? Oh my God. I think other than this blue though, and the metal, I think he's done. So yeah, I can definitely finish these guys after stream if I need to. You and your fancy pants got yourself into. Hey, just so you know, these are sculpted. This is not freehand. I'm not doing this to myself. You know, fancy pants. I think he looks good, Chris. I'm looking at your DeGaff now. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, it was more neat in Malifaux in the games I played. Didn't feel like close at all. It's either one side dominating at the end because you're free-handed. Yeah, I think Malifaux needs if at the end of a turn there's a certain point difference, the game ends, or the other person, or there's like some kind of check. Like, oh yeah, your leader has to take a willpower 15 flip or whatever. And especially with the way tournament systems are working, it's like, unfortunately, you can't have a rule for conceding that is built on like good faith in a lot of ways, because like with 40K as an example, somebody might see the way the tide is turning and then just be like, oh, I quit, and that forces the other person to like not get enough points or whatever. So like I feel like the tournament system itself can't I'm sorry, I feel like the game itself needs to have it as like an inbuilt mechanism, as opposed to just being like, oh yeah, in our tournament system, whoever concedes, the other person gets max points. Because at that point, then it forces that person to have to sit through the suffering of watching all their stuff die. Like, just to put it into perspective, I've played against Willem a few times, and literally every single time I play him, the exact same thing happens. I play him, I roll my dice, everything dies, I can't stop him. We have to get pedantic about the stupidest things. And then there's just no end. You just sit through 3 turns of being fucking miserable. And then it's over, and then everybody's like, oh yeah, how'd your game go? And then I describe it, and they're like, yep, well, gee shucks, that really stinks, Dylan. You know, have you ever thought about just thinking that, you're not paying attention to when you do roll good and blah, 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 and I gotta hear the same arguments over and over again. And here we go. Okay, yep. No, I never thought of that, thank you. Or right after you get done with a miserable game, they ask you how you are, and I'm like, no, I didn't enjoy it. And then you have to hear about how once they had a game where they rolled badly, and they understand, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yep, yeah, yep, sure. Can we get to the end? Can we get to the end of this conversation, please? Sure, it's understood that you are basically gambling, and sometimes gaming sucks, but you can't hope every game is fun for both sides. I had 3 games on Infinity this weekend, and my opponents all got hosed by their dice, but we all had fun. But you can't control how the other person reacts. Yeah, if you don't play dice. Yeah, if you don't like dice, W means well, but he's not
Those
fun
people
to play
will
with.
never understand the pain of rolling 17 times in a row.
They sure won't. I'm glad you saw it. Like, I'm so used to that happening, and nobody pays attention. I'm just like, yeah, here we go. Who were you talking about? Missed that. Oh man, don't get me started on the miserable time thing. Is having to sit there watching your opponent do everything while you just have to sit there and deal with it. It's one of the reasons I don't want to contribute. Yeah, no, which whenever you say that, like, I get it. I have, I've had some of the best games I've ever played in my entire life at tournaments, and but I can truthfully say, all of the worst games I've ever had have always been at tournaments. And it is unfortunately a just wild dice roll in itself, hoping that the person you play against at a tournament is cool. 9 times out of 10 they are. And then every once in a while you just kind of draw the short stick and you're just like, great, here we go. And that's another thing that always happens too, Chris, is he means well and blah, blah, blah. And I get it, but I don't care. Like, after the 5th time of us playing, if it's miserable, I don't give a crap what your intention is. It's like, my guy, it's time for you to just, like, either figure out what it is you're doing wrong. I get it. You're, whatever. You got some kind of thing that you have trouble with, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, my dude, stop. Oh my god, Josh is here. You're all caught up on chat. Okay, good. Actually, we mentioned you a couple times. We were saying everybody was here except for Josh. Now you're here. Everybody's here. Dude, in my game against Andre, his active turn, he shoots one of my models. I choose to shoot. Yeah, I was there for that. The 1, 2, 3 thing. Now, to Andre's credit, I was standing there and he made decisions that, like, baffled my mind. And even after me saying, hey, if you do this, it'll be better, he didn't do that. And it ended badly. So I'm kind of like, well, yeah. Rolling 2 dice into it with like any burst 2 weapon that you're rolling to attack with, you're taking risks. So if he was rolling B2, I assume he was rolling around. He was either doing it with a sniper rifle or he was doing it with like some kind of rocket, which generally speaking you don't want to use on the offensive unless you got like extra dice or whatever. But going into an attack with 2 dice is very risky. Like 3 to me is the minimum on active turn shooting. Who are you talking about? I mean, who are we talking about? We were talking about Wilmar, and then we were talking about Josh. That parachute decision was bad. It was that sniper at bad range. Yeah, I was there for that one. That parachute. Are you talking about my parachute decision? The one I made? With the Delta? I mean, I doubt you're talking about me, because I covered his landing zone with smoke. He wandered over. I was in good range. I think you were in bad range, and you still beat me. I was like, I rolled 4 dice, and of course they're all, like, every single one of them was a miss. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. No, the games you're not having fun. I was talking about Wilmar. Not Wilmar. Willem. Freudian slip. And then the second time, and then I went at you again with another burst 4 weapon, and then you just crit me. And I was like, you actually blew my mind with that move, by the way. Added new wrinkles. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, that's a classic Infinity. I was like, this is going to go great. I'm going to have him land in here with a Spitfire because he's a drop trooper, and I don't have to worry about him getting shot in deployment. It's going to be great. Throw the smoke, he lands, he wanders on over to cover. He's like, hee, and then he just kills me because I can't hit anything. I'm like, I need 12, 4 dice. 17, 15, I think I got like a 3 or something, and then it was like another teen number, and then you just happened to roll like a 9 or something. I was like, okay, I have armor 3, roll the dice, I rolled like a fucking like another 17. I was like, okay, I'm unconscious. No, I can truthfully say that I still enjoy Infinity, but a lot of the joy for that game has died. I'm just going to put it that way. Like, I don't get excited about it as much as I used to, just because I'm so sick and fucking tired of that happening. And then anytime it happens, the other person's always like, yeah, you know, well, shucks, that happens sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, sometimes it does. And I find that most of the time, my bad luck is not my luck. I have noticed that, generally speaking, the thing that is my downfall is the other person has insanely good luck. Like, it's a case of, like, I might roll average, but the other person just happens to beat me by 1. They pass all their armor saves. They crit like crazy. That's what I've tended to notice. Which is why I have decided to dedicate my life to miniatures games that aren't as complicated. Because I'm tired of learning complicated rules in order to drive 1,000 miles away to lose to the other person's dice. D, you can play me and patiently explain for me if you had to beat you. That would be great. You're welcome. I was so confused. You were like, "There's no way I can win." I was like, "Just walk into the room." I physically can't stop you. That was such a surreal experience. I was like, nope. I was like, I don't think I can win this, Dylan. I was just like, just walk into the room. Oh, man, sometimes feels like a lot of time. Yeah, no. I agree. He who shall not be named. You actually anyway, let me impetuous order my Morlock up the board with their 8-4 movement. I was going to do that yesterday. Next time we play, I'll have a bunch of empty platitudes. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I love them. They make me feel so much. They make me feel so warm. You can. I let my rolls are on the luckier side. I used to play an RPG. Skill is soothing platitudes. That was my only tournament win ever. You must be a very sensitive lover. Yeah. Like I said, I wasn't even mad. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And like I said, people that have accused me of being like a sour loser, I'm like, you can seriously lick my asshole because I'm not. Like, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to take my licks. Like, I don't care. It's fine with me. But, when you see something happen consistently on like a crazy reliable way, it's just like, yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then, you hear the usual, like, wow, Dylan, you should get new dice. And it's like, yeah, have you seen my dice bag? You know how many new dice I've gotten? You know what, guys? I did it. It's not the best paint job I've ever done in my entire life, but it's done. And gosh dang, if that ain't all that matters. This part. Shiny. I did it. I think I will soothe out the pants tiny bit. You are not at all a sore loser, but your lack of enjoyment is clear as day. Yeah, I don't hide it. No. No, I do not hide that.
I'm
as though I
sorry
don't.
about those rolls. You see, my story begins in 1992. We had to say Dickety cuz the Kaiser had stolen our word 20. I chased that recall to get it back, but gave up after Dickety 6 miles.
Yeah, no, the lack of enjoyment I have no intention of hiding. Cause like I'm not gonna sit there and like put on a happy little face for the other person to like molest me for the next 30 minutes. I put that face on because I'm like, all right, we got to get this done. Let's just go. It's business. We're no longer playing a game. This is a business this is a business transaction. Okay, I'm selling you my butthole, and I demand that you give me. And I will give you your 5 tournament points or whatever. So let's. It was like, come on, let's go. Let's get this through. And then when you play those games, and then the other person wants to get fucking semantic about like, oh well, you know, if there's this move here, there's a really efficient way I can do this, and you're not gonna be able to shoot me. But you know, I gotta like measure the stuff. I'm like, for the love of Almighty Christ, please just move. Just please end it. That is the ultimate like point where Dylan gets like beyond frustrated. It's when people do the whole like super optimizing every single move and every single point thing when the game is like already over. You're just like, for the love of Christ, just go. Like Evan is an excellent example of that, Wilmar. Where you're just sitting there and you know he knows he won, I know he won. We're both just sitting there going through the motions, and he takes 15 hours to do a single turn. And you're like, for the love of God, go. And then he has to be like, well, you know, when you're going through your thing, you gotta make sure you do the thing. It's like, I don't care. Please just fucking go. I'll just give you the win if it just makes it end. Oh, I did too. There was certainly a point where I was like, Evan, you need to hurry the fuck up. I was a judge at a tournament that he was in. I helped out with Ironweld one year. And I sat there and I watched him like a hawk all game. Exactly. I was sitting there next to him, and he was doing his usual thing, and I would go by his table like every 30 minutes. I'd be like, Evan, you need to speed it up. And he's like, oh yeah, you know how I am. He. It was like, no, you need to hurry. You need to hurry up. Like, there's a difference between being nice and...
Biggest Dickus can't tell you all about Dickety O'Clock and how every day at half past Dickety dirty. Incontinentia buttocks brags about the Kaiser.
Nah, bro, I get it. I get that. No, I remember the Kaiser. He was a nice guy. Nice guy, that Kaiser. Anyway, welcome to my TED Talk where I cuss a lot at stuff that really gets under my skin. Okay, guys. So, while those things are drying, I did want to show off Mr. Nigma. I did finish him yesterday. Come on. I think he came out pretty good. Mr. Nigma. I tried to do some green paint on the ground, similar to the games, where you know where the riddle trophies are going to be. I think he came out pretty good.
It's Leonardo's new movie, What's Eating These Grapes?
That might be a reference to something I don't know. D's grapes. Got it. So it's 11:31. I do have to kind of quickly go through this. Guys, you know, Patreon, Professional Casual, use the code Professional Casual at checkout for Monument Hobbies and all that stuff. Hillary helps us out, yada yada. Patreon, Professional Casual, Digital Nomad if you want to help me out specifically. I've done this talk 1,000 times, and I'm running out of time on this one, so I'm going to do it real quick like. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. They're done. They are actually done. Let me show you. Let me give you the family shot. We're going on an adventure. Yay. Please focus. Please focus. There you go. Those sure are the tops of those models. You never seen what's eating Gilbert Grape? Sure haven't. I think they look great. Little 8-man unit. I love these sculpts. They're fantastic. I love their hobo hats. And yeah, just so you know, Wilmar, that's what that water looks like. Do that just to kind of add a little zazz, to the base. The Euro semi-final tournament. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose that's kind of true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I don't have a lot of time, so guys, thanks for joining. As always, love to have you guys here. We had a great time. We are plundering tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. Summer Plunder's still going on until after Nova, at which point we'll probably go on an Infinity kick or Trench Crusade kick. And we'll keep working on other people's stuff, obviously, because we still got plenty of that. But, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I will catch you guys Thursday. I should be here. And, I'll talk to a lot of you guys before then, I'm sure. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful week.